Guys, Carolina Jackpot coming at you. It's Wednesday evening, about 6:30ish, and those of you who like to watch the college football picks against the spread that I do every week during the season, working on those tonight. We'll have those up tomorrow night, most likely. Possible, may have them up tonight, but we shall see. There are no Thursday games this week, at least not any that I know about. They're all either Friday, which there's only a few on Friday, and Saturday. What I wanted to get into on this video, the SEC. There were several teams in the SEC, a good whole handful of them, on Saturday who started the season off in epically bad fashion. And some of these teams are going to have to get it together this week, or they could be staring right down the barrel of 0-2. And that's not a good way to get started out. First team I want to talk about, of course, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Jake Bentley on Monday, it was announced, broke his foot. The last play of the UNC game. Rumor out there is that he actually kicked a locker in Bank of America Stadium after the game. I can't blame him for being mad at himself, but kicking a locker ain't going to solve nothing, dude. And that's pretty childish to be doing that in front of your teammates, especially when you're a senior and you're supposed to be the leader. Hopefully that's not the case, and that's just a stupid rumor, which I tend to think it is. I think he did break his foot on the last play of the game. But what's done is done. Like I said in that video, I don't expect to see Jake back in a South Carolina Gamecocks uniform. You know why? Because I expect Ryan Helinski to play really well this year. I expect him to go out and have a good, solid game this Saturday. I mean, it is Charleston Southern, an FCS school, not a very good one at that. They lost by 36 points to Furman on Saturday. So he should go out there. He should be able to go through his progressions. He should be able to have enough time to make the throws he needs to. Shouldn't be getting much of a pass rush from these guys. And let's go out and play ball. And let's go out and get a big win. I'm looking forward to that, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think South Carolina rolls big in this one. We're going to start the season 1-2. Well, I mean, we just are. We're going to lose next week at home against Alabama by a lot to a little, and I've accepted that fact and moving on from it. But we can't lose to Alabama twice, because the next team I want to talk about, Missouri, is up next. That's a road game, and that's a big one. Missouri, of all the teams that crapped the bed on Saturday, I think still has the most upside, because I think that Missouri went into just kind of a strange environment. I don't think that Missouri was used to going out west, playing a team way up high in the mountains and the altitude. It's just not something that they normally do. And henceforth, lost the game pretty badly. I mean, they ended up losing by only like a touchdown, but it was much worse than that. The final score was not indicative of how much or how wide of a margin that game really had to it. Missouri, I think, will improve. Kelly Bryant still put up some really good numbers there in that game. They take on West Virginia this weekend. That's an iffy one. West Virginia, Austin Kendall looked decent this past weekend. Only won that game by 7 points, though, but it was against James Madison. I think that's the preseason #1 team in FCS. Always a tough out. James Madison gave North Carolina State a hard time last year. They've beaten Virginia Tech in the past, so no shame in having a close game to them. What is shameful is another team, Arkansas, having a close game with Portland State. Who is that? Who the hell is that? Is it from Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon? I don't know. It's from Portland, Oregon, but they went 20-14, I think it was. They just barely beat this team. I was looking forward to Chad Morris really getting that offense going out there this year, and it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's got a tough job ahead of him. He really does. I kind of feel sorry for the guy. Brett Bielema left that program in a trash can. I mean, they'll be 10 years getting that thing recovered. Brett Bielema was another one of them, like old Will Mustdump, run some kind of old grandpa offense that nobody wants to play with anymore. None of these kids were happy running it, and they sucked as a result. And now Chad Morris is having to try to pick up pieces of that. Tennessee, man, I don't know about them either. I tend to think this weekend they're taking on BYU. I think they're going to win that game. I really do. I believe they're favored by maybe just a couple of points against BYU, but I think they're going to beat them. They cannot afford to go 0-2. If they go 0-2, that fan base is going to be totally gone. I mean, it's almost gone right now. I think the South Carolina fan base is about almost totally gone right now. We're divided. We're fighting amongst ourselves. Nobody can agree on anything, and they're in much the same turmoil. They want to talk about how elite they. I mean, that's been a long time since they've won anything of significance. I mean, it's been even longer than my Gamecocks as far as winning something of significance. I mean, they're just bad. I mean, Saturday, that loss to Georgia State, they've never lost to an FCS school, but that's damn as close as you can come to losing to an FCS school without actually doing it. Georgia State never beaten an FBS school. They were 2-10 last year. It's not like you went out and lost to an Appalachian State, or you lost to an Arkansas State, or a Georgia Southern, or a Troy, or a good team out of that college. You lost to Georgia stinking State. Just bad. Couldn't tackle. Hopefully they get it turned around this weekend. I think they will. Tennessee will win a close game against BYU in Neyland Stadium on Saturday. Ole Miss, their loss was not an upset. They were picked to lose to Memphis, so that was not as bad. I think they'll actually beat Arkansas this weekend. That's a battle of the two worst teams in the SEC West, and it's not even close. It's not even close between those two guys. So I think that Ole Miss will get the win there over Arkansas. Arkansas are going to have a long season. Ole Miss is going to have a long season too, but I think they're going to have an even rougher one. Vanderbilt, I still have to study up on that one, but I have to think that Vanderbilt's going to go on the road and play well. I still like Vanderbilt. I think they have a good football team. They didn't exactly get blown out by Georgia, and that's not exactly a litmus test to how good your team really is, because Georgia's going to dominate a lot of teams this year, and they really didn't get dominated on the scoreboard. They may have on the stat line, but I got to think they're going to go on the road and perform well against the Purdue team. And that's another team that crapped to bed this past weekend. How do you go from being up 24-7 in the second half, deep into the second half, on the road at Nevada, another Mountain West team, that ain't good, and you lose. You lose. Now, I told you over the summer that there was no physicality when I was watching Purdue play against Auburn in that Music City Bowl, and that proved to be true. Hopefully these SEC teams will rebound this weekend and, make the conference look just a little bit better, because it looked terrible this past week. Oh, yeah, Florida. They play UT Martin. That one's a no-brainer. They're going to kill UT Martin, but that's another team that didn't look good in opening week. And their opening week's been almost 2 weeks ago. So Florida will get a win this week as well. Stay tuned for Carolina Jackpot's picks against the spread. I'll be doing those later on this week. Y'all stay tuned for more football to come. Appreciate it. And go Cox. Fire must dump. Woo!